Hi, thank you for joining me. My name's Laura. Well, these are the hands of Laura. And this will hopefully be the first of a few videos, a few different technique videos that I've been meaning to post for quite a while now. I was kind of spurred on a little bit at the weekend. Myself and Deirdre were on a workshop for the magazine, for Olan and magazine, and we were working short rows, and I realised that there was a technique that mentioned that a few people didn't know about, and to be honest, it's one of my favourite techniques at the moment. So I kind of thought, well, it kind of gave me the little bit of a kick up the bum that I needed to get on with some of these videos that I keep meaning to post. So today I wanted to show you how to work German short rows. It's just one of the many different short row techniques out there. There are quite a few, and as I say, it's one that I like at the moment, so I thought it would be a good idea to show you. The stitches sit pretty well on stocking stitch. They blend in quite well. The smoothness of stocking stitch fabric means that it's a little less forgiving than garter stitch, and pretty much all of the short row shaping techniques are quite disguised in garter stitch. So I'll show you this one. So what I would like to do first of all is, if you just have a look at my stitches on my needle, you'll notice that there are a couple that have an extra leg. So this one here, for example, has an extra leg, and this one here does as well. So, and that's actually where I've worked my turn, my short row. So we're on the right side row, so I'm going to show you on the right side first. So we're going to knit across to where I want to turn my work. Oops, it's actually that stitch there. Whoops. So we're going to knit that stitch. That's where I want to turn my work. So I've knitted the stitch. I'm going to turn my work around, and for this technique you always want to have the yarn at the front of your work, because you're going to slip that first stitch on your left hand needle. So you slip the stitch as if to purl. So with my yarn at the front of my work, and that's whether you're working a right side or a wrong side row, you slip your stitch as if to purl, and then we always have to take our yarn over the top of our needle. And in this case, because I'm going to work a purl row, I need to bring my yarn to the front. So I've taken it over the top and around to the front, and I'm going to purl back to where I want to turn my work again. So coming all the way back. So I want to turn my work with this stitch here. Can you see? Because I'm working every other stitch. So this is the place I want to turn next. So I'm going to purl that stitch, turn my work, and as you can see this time, because my next row would be a knit row, my yarn is at the back of my work. So I need to bring that yarn to the front of my work and then slip the first stitch off the left hand needle as if to purl. And now taking my yarn over the needle, I'm ready to start my knit stitch by bringing the yarn to the back. But because of the way the fabric is, where the stitches are worked, the yarn wants to fall back to the front. So what I tend to do is knit that first stitch and tension it a little tighter than I would do normally, which lifts the bottom stitch up. In order to work the German short rows, you're effectively lifting that stitch up, making it a little snugger. So we're going to knit across to the next stitch, not next place I want to turn. So that's this one here. I'm going to knit that stitch, turn my work. With my yarn at the front of my work, I'm going to slip that first stitch as if to purl, and lifting my yarn up and over my needle and bringing it back round to the front. Now we're going to purl back to where I want to turn one more time. So I've turned this stitch here. Can you see it's got the leg? So I'm going to miss one, and this is the one that I want to turn at, sorry. So I'm going to purl that stitch, turn my work again, bring my yarn to the front of my work, slip that stitch as if to purl, and then lift my yarn over to the back. And again, it wants to naturally fall to the front. So knit that stitch, tensioning it a little bit tighter than you would do normally. So that's all of my stitches turned. So now we're going to work one complete row. So I'm going to work all the way back down here to this end of the row, turn my work and purl all of the stitches coming back. And all we do to incorporate those little extra legs is work them together with the stitch that they're formed on. So we'll knit this first stitch. So here we go, I've got my first turned stitch with its extra leg, and just put my needle through both of those and knit them together. So we'll do that again, through both of them, through the stitch and the leg, and work them together, and repeat that all the way down through your stitches. And you do the same if you were working the short rows out from the center. So perhaps you turn your work after the first 3 stitches and then after the first 5, and you'd pick your extra legs up as you're going along. So we're going to purl back now through those stitches, and when I get to the first turned stitch, I'll show you, but it's exactly the same. We're just going to treat them as if it was 2 stitches, and we're going to purl them together. So we'll go all the way back over here. Oops. Nearly there. It never seems, oh, this is our first one, so you can see we've got the extra leg there, and again put the needle through both of those legs and purl them together until you get, and repeat through the 2 legs together, through the 2 legs, and make sure you incorporate all of those wrapped stitches. Well, they're not wrapped, are they? Those turned stitches, sorry. All the way down to the end. There we go. And if you have a look, I'll show you. You can see that we've got a nice curve to our knitting. And they're fairly well blended in, aren't they, I think? I'm making a vitamin D cardigan and you can hardly see them. So, I hope that helps. Bye.